Hello, UFO fans. Let's talk about their team rankings going into Week 9. Number 8, the San Antonio Brahmas. Nothing has gone right for the Brahmas this year. Of course, this stems from Wade Phillips being in and out, not having a quarterback. Their offensive line is terrible, is absolutely terrible, if you ask me. Peyton Pardee is doing the best he can, so he went from the most experienced coach to the youngest coach probably in the league, head coach in the league. I think that's where we are with them. I'm going to put the Roughnecks at number 7. Because, I'm sorry, after last week's performance, and the week before that, total collapse against Birmingham, even though they got more wins than Memphis Showboats, even though they're trying, that loss against Birmingham was the worst in franchise history. They went from having a chance to be in the playoff to pretty much knocking themselves out. So I'm going to put them at number 7. Number 6, because I'm going to put the Memphis Showboats. They gave us the 2 overtime games this year, 2 of the most exciting games of the year. So I'll just put them at number 6. Number 5, the Arlington Renegades. My goodness, what a season this could have been that's turned into a head-scratcher. So many questionable losses. Last week was no different. They're number 5. Now here's where it gets really good between the 4 playoff teams. Number 4. I'm going to go with the Birmingham Stallions. Doesn't mean nothing right now. They're in the playoffs. They've lost both to both DC and St. Louis. Both little close games, but they beat Michigan once, but they got to play them again tomorrow. So I'm going to put them at number 4. Number 3, I am going with the Panthers. Someone's got to be number 3. That could change tomorrow with the win over the Stallions. Maybe. Number 2, I'm still going with the Battlehawks. And number 1, I'm going to go with the DC Defenders. Listen, if you want to switch those top 3 teams around, you can make an argument. And I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's talk about the ratings last week. The Showboats and the Renegades drew 670,000 viewers. I'm sorry. That was the Showboats of the Brahmas. I'm sorry, no, I got my wires crossed here. The Showboats and Brahmas drew 573,000 viewers on the Fox Friday Night Game of the Week. Now for the Saturday regional action with the Panthers and Roughnecks and the Stallions and Battlehawks, 591,000 viewers. I know a lot of people were pissed off because they couldn't watch both games. I know one preferred one game over the other. Depending where you live is where you got the game. I was lucky. I got the Stallions and the Battlehawks, which might have been the game of the year. That was a real good game. Unfortunately, only 591,000 viewers. Of course, the big game, and I think the highest rated game of the year, the Renegades and Defenders, another great game between those 2 teams. 973,000. It peaked at 1.4 million, but we all know, let's not lie to ourselves. It peaked at the end of the game, not because the game was exciting, but because people were getting ready for Game 7 of Denver, Oklahoma City. And of course, then they pulled the plug on us for about 40 seconds ago. We didn't get to see the ending of that game unless you were able to switch to ESPN2 very quickly. So there you go. That's the ratings. Now, as far as the attendance goes for the year, we'll start with the Renegades. They've drawn over 10,000 average per game. And right now, 40,889. Right now for the year. And they still got one more home game left. We'll see how that pans out. Ford Field, the Michigan Panthers were the one team this year that had an increased attendance. The other 7 teams haven't. So kudos to the Michigan Panthers. Their fans have done well this year. They've already exceeded their attendance by almost 2,000 people, and they still got one more home game left at Week 10. Birmingham, this has been the biggest head scratcher. They've had a big decrease, despite the fact they've won 3 championships in a row. And of course, the Brahmas, who've been screwed this year, they have to start the year off at 4 straight road games. And then now they're playing a home game on the road this week at St. Louis. So I can't really analyze that really properly. Let's see. Despite the Roughnecks, we're back in TDCU Stadium. It looks like they're down attendance. They got to do some marketing over there. I see. Have they played all 5 games at TDCU Stadium? No, they got one more home game left, so we won't have the final numbers up for sure. Even the Battlehawks are down. Even though they've drawn over 30,000, they're down. And of course, the DC is on par with last year. Depending on what their last home game is against St. Louis in Week 10, I think they're gonna draw more than they did last year. So you'll have 2 teams that had an increased attendance this year. So there you go. Now let's talk about this week's games. Week 9, which I'm calling Week 1 of the preseason for the year 2026, because thanks to the ridiculous scheduling conflicts, these games are going to be nothing. Oh, yeah, by the way, the conference championships are set. Saturday, June 7th at 3 o'clock on the Fox Network will be the United States Football League Conference Championship game at Birmingham with Michigan. I'm hoping Birmingham wins out now, because that would be quite embarrassing. I'm sorry, I got to go there. And the game, 6 o'clock game on Saturday will be on ABC, the Defenders and the Battlehawks at the Dome of America Center, no matter what happens. Again, even though I'm a DC fan, I hope St. Louis wins out, because we just don't need this. All right, let's go into Week 9 now. Tonight, the Fox Game of the Week. The St. Louis Battlehawks at home on the road against the San Antonio Brahmas. The Brahmas got screwed of a home game because of the college basketball Final Four. So we took one of the best football bases in spring football and screwed them. Darryl Johnson, you got some work to do next year. Sorry, I'm going to go there. All right, regardless, the Brahmas are in turmoil. Be interesting how the Battlehawk fans turn out tonight for the game of the week, even though it's considered a road game. You might as well just call it a Battlehawks home game, because... And with this extra home game, they're going to draw more than they did last year, probably. I'm taking the Battlehawks big. I don't see San Antonio. San Antonio's not looked good the last 3 weeks, even though they tried. The Battlehawks are on a roll. I think they would like nothing more than to play DC next week for the number 1 seed, to get the legit number 1 seed at home. I'm going with them big. I think they'll win by 13 points. I'm going 33-20 Battlehawks. Saturday game, doubleheader. The first game on ABC. The Arlington Renegades and the Memphis Showboats. The Renegades have invented ways to lose games. The Memphis Showboats are nothing more than just a tease. But these DCs have played some pretty exciting games. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting game. And I think it could be an exciting game for the right reason, even though we got nothing to play for. I think after last week, I don't know. I don't know about Luis Perez, but I'm going to go with the Renegades anyway. Why not? And to me, this is a pick'em game. This is the pick'em game of the year. I'm going to go with the Renegades because, one, I like Luis Perez and I like Bob Stoops. That's my only reason, everyone. The Memphis Showboats can easily win this game. The second game, also a part of doubleheader on ABC. The Michigan Panthers will try to end the six-game losing streak or 7-game losing streak against the Birmingham Stallions. They'll be in Pawtucket Stadium. I am rooting hard for the Stallions. We don't need the embarrassment of the conference championship game. Stallions, please just win this one. Fans, please show up. The question is, will Bryce Perkins play? If he doesn't play, I am going with the Stallions. Because, I'm sorry, Danny Etling, I am not worried about the Birmingham Demons against Danny Etling. Now, you put Bryce Perkins in there, we got a heck of a game. I mean, we're going to have a heck of a game anyway, but Bryce Perkins makes that game a lot more fun. But, let's see, if Etling's starting, I'm going with the Stallions. I think they'll find a way to win it. If Bryce Perkins plays, and my fault, I probably should have looked this up already. I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. So, again, that's a pick'em game. And finally, the game on Sunday, 4 p.m. on Memorial Day weekend. The DC Defenders will be at TDECU Stadium playing the Roughnecks. You don't think the DC Defenders about having to go on the road to play maybe a number 1 seed home road game? Ugh. Either way, C.J. Johnson, I was hopeful of him. I was getting hopeful. Now I'm not so hopeful. The Defenders win this game. I am not going to count the Roughnecks out totally. They still have a good defense. And Jelly McKinnon is a good quarterback. But the Defenders, well, I can't even say they got anything to play for. They don't. I mean, what are they going to play for? Bush League stuff. And I'm not trying to be negative here, but you got to call it as you see it here. Anyway, I saw something about how they were expanding next year, the UFL, the rumor with the Seattle Sea Dragons or Dragons. I don't know. I cannot confirm that. There's nothing on the UFL site. So I'm just going to say that's a fake news story that was published months ago. I am not falling for it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not sure if they're going to expand. They keep saying they're going to expand. The good news is season tickets are on sale next year. They're going to be back. Good. And the other thing you got to also remember, I think they just leased out, the UFL just leased out more buildings. Office buildings. I think they leased out another weight room. So they're going to be back. That's the good news. But if they're smart, tell us about expansion now. Don't be stupid. Don't drag your feet like you had the last 2 years. Give your fans some juice. People still ask about the XFL, not knowing that the UFL's around. This is how bad they are. Wake up, guys. Questions and comments down below. What's your opinion like to know? For the love of football, everyone, enjoy the game tonight. Go Battlehawks, and we'll talk to you later.